Welcome back. In part 1, we talked about the mindset shift, thinking with AI, not just using it. Now it's time to see how that mindset comes alive in the real world. Every data project starts with one common struggle: the blank page. A new request lands on your desk. Reduce churn. No clear scope, no success criteria, just a vague goal. And you know that sinking feeling. Hours of brainstorming, stakeholder calls, and endless what-if discussions. Here's where prompt engineering transforms chaos into clarity. You could simply say, "You are a senior data scientist. I have a dataset of 50,000 customer transactions with 20 features: demographics, purchase history, engagement metrics. The business wants to reduce churn. Generate 5 testable hypotheses ranked by impact and suggest analysis methods for each." In seconds, you get structured, logical hypotheses, things like high support ticket volume correlates with churn, or low purchase frequency predicts disengagement. That's not a random list, that's direction. What used to take 3 hours of scattered thinking now takes 15 minutes of strategic alignment. But the deeper power isn't time saved, it's momentum gained. You walk into your next meeting not with guesses, but with hypotheses ready to discuss. That's how you shift from reactive analyst to proactive thinker. That's how prompt engineering changes who you are in the room. Once the problem is framed, we move into the familiar, the data itself. EDA, every data scientist's bread and butter, and honestly, our bottleneck. You know the drill. Load the data, check for nulls, run describe, look at correlations, create histograms, tweak visuals, repeat until your eyes blur. It's repetitive, it's mechanical, and it eats hours. Now imagine starting your EDA like this. Act as a data analyst. For this dataset, generate a full EDA report including summary stats, missing value analysis, outlier detection, correlation insights, and Python code to create 5 key visuals. In under a minute, AI returns a clean Markdown report, ready to paste, edit, and interpret. Instead of spending hours building the report, you spend 10 minutes reading it. Think about that. It's like switching from manual microscopy to an automated scanner. You still need expertise, but your field of vision expands instantly. And that's the shift. You go from being a technician of data to a thinker of insights. That's the real goal of automation, not to replace your skill, but to free it. Now that you understand your data, it's time to make it smarter through the art of feature engineering. Feature engineering is creativity wrapped in logic. It's where experience meets intuition, but it's also slow. You try combinations, test formulas, debate which ones make sense, until your coffee turns cold. Here's a better way. You are a machine learning engineer. Given this e-commerce dataset, user_ID, timestamp, product_ID, price category, suggest 10 engineered features that improve churn prediction. For each, provide feature name, calculation logic, expected predictive value, and Python implementation. AI responds with recency, days since last purchase; monetary value, total spend and spending velocity; behavioral diversity, category variety, or brand loyalty score. You instantly have a list of creative, explainable, and testable ideas. And here's the key. AI doesn't replace your domain knowledge. It amplifies it. You still decide what stays or goes, but now you're exploring ideas you might never have considered. One of my colleagues said it best. Prompt engineering doesn't automate creativity, it multiplies it. That's exactly what happens here. Let's move to the analytical core, model selection. This is where intuition, math, and trade-offs meet. Choosing the right algorithm is never straightforward. Do you go for interpretability or accuracy, simplicity or flexibility? You test random forests, tune XGBOOST, try logistic regression, and every choice feels like a gamble. Now imagine if you could get a clear decision map before touching the code. Try this. You are an ML expert. I have a binary classification problem, 100,000 samples, 50 features, 15% class imbalance. Recommend 3 algorithms with rationale, evaluation metrics, and pros and cons for each A. I might say random forest, robust, and handles imbalance well. XGBOOST, high accuracy, fast, but prone to overfitting. Logistic regression, interpretable but may underfit. In 1 minute, you've summarized what normally takes an hour of research. You know where to start, what to test, and what trade-offs to expect. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by too many modeling options, you're not alone. Prompt engineering gives you a compass. It doesn't make the decision for you, but it helps you start with clarity instead of confusion. You've built the model. It performs beautifully. Then comes the meeting. Executives are watching. Someone asks, "So, why does it think these customers will churn?" And suddenly the silence hits. The model says so, won't cut it anymore. What you need now is translation, from math to meaning. Here's a prompt that bridges that gap. Act as a data science communicator. My XGBoost model shows top features: days since purchase, total spend, support tickets, session frequency, account age. Explain these for executives in plain language with 3 actionable insights. The AI responds with something like, customers who engage less recently and contact support frequently are at high churn risk. Loyalty offers and proactive support can improve retention. That's clarity, that's confidence. You've just turned a black box into a business story. Prompt engineering helps you build not just explainable models, but explainable narratives. And that's the difference between being understood and being ignored. Data storytelling is where science meets art. Charts are easy, stories are rare. You've probably seen dashboards filled with numbers that say everything but mean nothing. That's because most visuals are built without narrative flow. Here's where prompting transforms presentation into persuasion. You are a visualization expert. Create a strategy with 5 charts. Include Python or Plotly code, a narrative flow, key insights, and design recommendations. The data shows 15% revenue growth, but declining customer satisfaction. AI proposes, set the context, overall trends. Reveal tension, dual axis growth versus satisfaction decline. Diagnose issue, segment breakdown. Propose solutions, projected interventions. That's not just visualization, that's storytelling. A clear journey from what happened to what now. One of my clients presented exactly this way to the board. The charts were the same, the storytelling wasn't, and the board said, "Finally, this makes sense." That's the power of prompt-guided storytelling. It turns data into decisions. Now, let's talk about the most underrated part of the data workflow: documentation. Everyone knows it's important. No one enjoys doing it, but it's also the key to long-term sustainability. Without documentation, your future self becomes your biggest enemy. Try this. You are a technical writer. Document this Python function. Include a doc string, README section, usage examples, and troubleshooting tips. In 5 minutes, AI gives you what used to take 2 hours. Structured, standardized, and clear. The benefit isn't just time saved, it's consistency. Your team now speaks one language in their codebase. Documentation isn't glamorous, but in the long run, it's the quiet hero of every mature data science team. And prompt engineering makes it painless. Let's face it, debugging can drain your soul. You stare at code for hours, knowing something's wrong, but not where. Prompting turns debugging into a conversation. You are a senior Python developer. Review this code for logical errors, edge cases, optimization, and statistical correctness. Provide line-by-line feedback. The AI highlights inefficient joins, unused variables, or data leakage in train test splits. It even spots potential violations in statistical assumptions. It's like having a tireless colleague who reviews your code without ego, without fatigue, and with brutal honesty. One of my favorite engineers once said, "AI doesn't make me better, it makes me faster at being right." That's exactly what happens here. Here is one of the hardest skills in data science: communication. Not code, not math. Communication. We often speak in precision. AUC, recall, F, 1 score. Executives think in outcomes, risk, revenue, retention. And this mismatch kills understanding. Here's the fix. You are a business translator. Convert this technical result, AUC 0.87, precision 82%, recall 79%, top predictors days since purchase and support tickets, into a 3-sentence executive summary. AI replies, our model predicts churn with 87% accuracy. Customers who recently disengaged or raised multiple support tickets are at highest risk. Proactive outreach could reduce churn by 15%. That's not dumbing down the science, that's elevating the message. Prompting helps you speak both dialects, technical precision and business clarity, and that's how data earns trust. Finally, let's talk about scale. Automation. Daily tasks like report generation, quality checks, and monitoring models can consume half your week. They're necessary but not inspiring. Here's how to automate intelligently. You are a workflow automation expert. Design a Python script that connects to a PostgreSQL database, runs data checks, generates HTML reports with charts, sends email alerts if issues are found, and logs all activities. In minutes, AI drafts a robust script skeleton, one that you can refine and deploy. A process that once took 45 minutes now runs automatically at midnight. You wake up to clean data and fresh insights. Zero manual effort, maximum consistency. That's not just saving time, that's reclaiming energy. Because when machines handle routine, humans can focus on creation.